Ardalan looked closely at Human's face and said, "Continue." Human said, "We also have a relationship like yours with them. A relationship that unfortunately or fortunately has a victorious and even living side. You are focused on love and happiness and enjoying life as long as you are alive, and we are focused on the destruction of the problems that have become obstacles and troubles for us. Even though you are older than us and have seen the world more than us, save a little and be kind to the young, beautiful women. Now you are on your feet and healthy. But how ready are these young and beautiful women like your ex-wife to stay by your side and build with you? Be content with one main woman who you know will stand by your side and keep the rest to yourself by whatever name you know." Ardalan laughed and said, "You seem like an interesting and mature man. If it were someone else who didn't have beauty and good looks and I think considerable wealth, I would have said you were a cat that can't reach meat. But the presence of these young and beautiful women says something else. If I want to take a formal wife again, I can be the same old soup and bowl. Of course. I can give up having an heir and having children." And he continued with a laugh, "Although my heart is young, this child will be a bell at the foot of the coffin and has no benefit." I said, "There is another solution. Give us a share of that hand and your generosity and forgiveness. The good of this world and the hereafter and a safe investment for the future. We will also hold a decent ceremony in times of hardship and illness, and I hope that after 120 years of life, wealth and help that make the muskats like wax in our hands, and in exchange for checks and promissory notes we give them a share that makes them feel like they are in heaven, but suddenly they find themselves in the same village where some of them came from. This will keep them away from you forever, and they will know your value more than before, and we will achieve what we want." Ardalan said, "Okay, Mr. Aryan. It seems that your fire is stronger than the others and your heart is full of muskats, and you would really like to see the destruction of muskats and their empire. I will deprive them of their inheritance and give them a large sum of money as the good of this world and the hereafter, and as you said, from the caliph's pocket. I just hope that I never see any of you again. Maybe I have fallen from my horse, but I have not fallen from my original position yet, and I have my own papers." I said, "Rest assured, Mr. Meshkat. Our target is not you at all." Ardalan nodded and after a while brought us tea and sweets. I had a wedding in my heart and they were grinding sugar. Agharjan had poured tea himself and brought sweets with him without any servants or nightingales. Mahan, Arman and Nargiz did not know what a bad dream I had had for them. I would throw Bahram at Mahan. After that talk and temptation about taking and obtaining a huge amount of money, and that he had become satisfied and weak and wanted to proceed according to my plan, I would destroy this past and this weak point and burn them. The remaining moments until the end of the meeting were spent with more sincerity and a calm atmosphere. I wrote something on paper and with a pen that I had taken from one of the children. I turned the pen over and folded the paper. When I said goodbye, I put the paper next to the tray of sweets and moved a little away from the others to avoid shaking hands, but Human and the others noticed me and somehow shook hands with him instead of me, preventing Ardalan from shaking hands and extending his hand. We left the mansion with the girls and ahead of us, accompanied by him. The children who had not come with us were careful around so that no one would accidentally or intentionally see us. We got into the cars and I surrendered myself to the girls again to become Raha Settoode again. Ardalan looked at the exit door of the mansion and said, "Anyone who wants to do something with me and my wealth in any way they know how and take control." I was a milk cow. But their coming wasn't bad either. I understood where I fit into this game, the puppet of the Meshkat family. A grin spread across his lips. He returned to the hall when his eyes fell on a folded piece of paper. He picked it up and opened it. Be careful of the mice in the house that send reports to their employers and monitor everything. This is not to make you suspicious of anyone who comes close to you. It is to warn and be alert and aware. From the maid to the one who approaches you as a lover and even a potential future wife. You must have been surprised by this detailed and extensive information. When it comes to land, money and huge profits, it is useless. Burn this paper so that no one gets it in their hands to prevent further conspiracies and Chinese news. Ardalan nodded. That's it. The mice in my house from the maid to the mistress. That's how they caught my wrist that day. Thank you, son. He took the dishes to the kitchen. He brought the flame of a match to the corner of the paper and after it caught fire, he threw it into the sink to burn it completely and then poured water on its last stains. He picked up the phone and called, "Hello, my dear. Would you like to hang out tonight?" "Yes, my friends are gone. I'm waiting for you."